Matt, we're gonna answer your question. How will the Pteranodon flight controls work?
Um, so obviously we have the old shitty prototype in the live build. What I want to do is have a mixture of what we did in the original Primal Carnage and a fighter jet. Basically, I'd like it that when you are not controlling your animal and you're just looking around, that the last direction you flew in, it levels out altitude wise, so you're only flying parallel to the ground.
Is that in line with the thing that you had me show? That style of looking in the same mechanic vein.
Well, you could still do it while moving like that. So for those of you that don't know, we're working on the free look. So when you're holding down W, any person that has heard of free look knows exactly what it is. But basically, you should be able to move forward and hold down
Whatever
all,
key gets bound
yeah,
to it, left alt, whatever you bind it to.
yeah, and then you can just kind of look around while still moving forward. So you should be able to look to your left while still moving forward, look to your right, etc., etc. So you'll still be able to do that. But my point is if you don't want to touch the movement at all, you can just kind of like auto move. That's the only animal that will ever have an auto move. The like ground animals, no, you don't get to hit numlock and walk forever. I don't care. I know every other large open world game has it. No, you don't get that. Flying animals do because they're gliding.
Sure.
Like consistently, they're always gliding, so they'll be able to do that. But it will just bottom out and you can look around. However, I want them to be able to have advanced enough controls that if you really, really knew what you were doing, you could feel really cool in the air. Um, so being able to basically fly forward, flip 180, and then dive bomb down like you went backwards just to shoot in the other direction, just because you could.
Which ties back into the which also would lead to the other question that was asked Wednesday, if you were just turning in the what will happen if flying critters smash into the ground or rocks at high speeds?
Likely die.
Likely death.
Yeah, death.
So if you try to Immelman your way out of something and you Immelman yourself right into a rock formation,
Yep.
Done.
Go fast enough into the water, also done. Slam into trees. If your wings aren't just, I should say this, if you don't just die, then your wings are fucked. Animal that flies with broken wings is very quickly food on the ground.
Yeah.
Pteranodon on the ground is not
dead.
Yeah, it's just dead. It's just dead. You get like 3 Troodons coming up, pulling you apart like a little bitch.
This is probably going to be a longer one. Oh, this is a name I recognize. Captain Magma asked, how will the various types of venom work and differ from one another? Troodon, Dilo, Mono, ? And we'd kind of bounced this one because that was still under discussion.
It is still under discussion. We actually had a conversation about making venom function the opposite of blood loss. Like the way blood loss works now is you have a certain chunk of your health that starts bleeding out damage over time. This one, we wanted it to start very small and then get progressively worse over time until it hits its catalyst and then tapers back off. And if you bite them repeatedly, it's just chain affecting it, so it just gets awful. So I mean, you get a pack of Troodons on something, even medium sized, it's gonna ruin it, and you're just gonna have a bad day. And I know for a fact that there's going to be severe balance problems that are going to come with it the first time we try it. But we wanted to do something that involves more than just, oh hey, you're doing extended damage over time. I know for a fact we looked at so many snakes. I forget the documentary. I watched a documentary though on a bunch of snakes that
snakes.
Yeah, cottonmouth. What's the
I don't have
one?
I don't have the list.
I don't know. It's not called a bushmaster, but it's something bush. Point is that these snakes that bit a dead lab rat, the lab rat was then dragged through a labyrinth, and the bush viper. There you go. The snakes explicitly followed the path immediately. And these were dead rats, so it wasn't like it followed like heat signatures. It just followed its own trail of scented venom. So I'm thinking that it's almost like if you get bit by a venomous animal, you're a homing beacon for that thing. It's going to follow you.
And likely lead back to the rest of your pack.
You know, if you go back to the rest of your pack, I mean, you know me and dino racism. If you get bit by one of those,
yeah. Hey, let me.
Where's the gun at? For the good of the herd.
Stomp him down and move on.
Yeah, break his leg and go away.
Sorry, buddy, you're a sacrifice now.
Yeah. No, I will say that someone's gonna ask, can you just spit venom? And I'm just kind of like, maybe as a strain, but not default. No, Primal did it, Jurassic Park did it, and it's neat. It's a fun little thing.
Is that actually a super common thing in nature?
No, there's
nothing
king
comes to
cobras.
mind.
There's king cobras. There's a beetle that does it, and I think there's a type of frog that does it. But they don't like. So the cobras spit like a type of venom. But there's like a beetle.
It's a neurotoxin, isn't it? I thought that cobras.
It might be a neurotoxin. I don't remember. But I know there's a frog and a beetle that like spit stomach acid.
You're talking about the bombardier beetle or whatever?
Yeah. There's that, and then I know there's a frog because I watched the thing on the frog, and it just goes and fucking.
That sounds.
Yeah, it's
vile.
just stomach acid.
That actually makes me think of, not to get too off tangent, but.
Yeah, they can't.
But we can't be replicating here, so I'm going to move us to another Venom-related question since it's kind of in the same vein. Bewilder asks, since Venom was confirmed, will certain dinos have a greater immunity compared to others?
I wanted to say by default no, but that's not really up to me. I don't make too many unilateral balance decisions.
I mean,
I make creative design decisions, but I don't make the balance decisions.
Wouldn't
some animals might be predisposed to like being not immune, but very heavily discouraged, or they could dispel it quickly. And I'll tell you now that one of the first things that we looked at was the elder buffs.
I was just thinking, like, that
Yeah,
seems like that would be a natural progression there.
Yeah, the elder buffs is you could just select venom immunity.
I mean, to fit in with that, like, generational system that's being looked at, right? Like, okay, so if you survive the venomous bite from whatever and you make it to, you know, continue to reproduce, it unlocks a chain for you to play with.
It's not about surviving. And the reason it's not about surviving is because we have enough people out there that play with a large enough group.
That would just sit and party. Okay.
Well, yeah, it's like, think about it. If I have a dinosaur whose venom immunity I want to build up, and I have you and the Ravenwood boys come and bite me and let me live.
Well,
I'm talking
on
about
the official service, we'd be breaking the rules because if I came by with my venomous pack of boys and nipped you on something else, our official server admins would yeet you into oblivion.
Well, on the Recode, we shouldn't have any rules on the official servers.
Just let him go.
Yeah, that's the point. That is now my job, is to figure out how to destroy all the rule breakers without having admin intervention. Yeah.
Right. Well, that's button pushing is better.
I'm referring to the elder buffs. You live through a full cycle. You choose to hit the go to sleep button and wake back up. And you chose a perk for not venom immunity,
but resistance.
But yes, resistance, and to dispel it quicker.
Trickle asked if locational is added with Recode. Locational damage is what I imagine the question was going to be. Will the damage we take show on our bodies from when we're bitten, bashed, and so on? So I imagine scarring or mesh deformation from.
You probably won't see. You probably won't see mesh deformation. I say probably because at this point I feel as if Felipe and Adam's like whole existence.
You mean the trio of terror, all of them?
Yeah. Well, I say them because Brandon's been around long enough that he doesn't try to overdo anything, and they like to just be like, yeah, look what we can do, and they just start adding shit, and it's like, I mean, well, fuck, okay, cool. Now that you've shown this off, the community's gonna want it. Congratulations.
You played yourself.
Yeah, exactly. But you can definitely see where you've been attacked. It would have to fade over time. I doubt you'll see persistent scarring forever. It's not like, because you don't want to go around looking like, you know, fucking Victor Zsasz from Batman or something.
I mean, like, but wouldn't that be more? I mean, I don't know. I'm as someone who has a bunch of scars from doing dumbass shit. I'm pretty proud of most of them.
Okay, it's not about players not wanting it. It's about the feasibility of the.
Oh, mechanically.
No, not mechanically. Just you're going to be projecting these onto the dinosaurs, and to have that projecting onto your dinosaur all the time, with dinosaurs loading in and out all the time. Think about how many unique scarrings you're going to have on however many players. It suddenly gets out of hand
on a 200 person server
very quickly. Yeah, the last thing we need is Isla to run any more poorly performance-wise, okay? Jeez.
Ragdoll Zombie asked, will dinosaurs be able to have more activities for your dinosaur to do that would give some kind of temporary benefit to a stat or something? Example, following in the mud to help mask your scent.
I mean, that's not a benefit to a stat, but I get the point.
Also, dinosaurs aren't predators, so covering yourself in mud isn't going to mask your scent.
What?
Predator 1, cover yourself in mud. Yeah, that's not
well,
how
you
mud...
said scent. I was like...
Well, that's why I was like, covering yourself in mud's not going to work.
That's thermals.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Yeah, so I think it was actually the Diabloceratops specifically that Jarell was like, we need to have them wallow in the mud. Like, that was the thing. I think that was the exact one she brought up.
What was to wallow in play?
Yeah, wallow in the mud, dirt baths, things like that. We wanted to have not meaningless, but more lively things for your animals to do. Ceratopsians to go and, like, you know, rub their horns and shit against the trees. You know, have shit that is literally like Gallimimus is like, find 5 of you, like, to just enjoy yourself. And these things aren't things that you have to do. It just gets you further to the end, if you know what I mean. Now you could do it, you know, organically yourself. Like, is just, hey, I want to mark every tree I see just because I can.
Sure.
Fine. You know, I want to go take a dirt bath because I like seeing dirt on my animal for no other reason. But there will be little things that's like, hey, your dinosaur wants to take a dirt bath. Go take a dirt bath. And you'll get like a little something for it. And these things, like, playing your dinosaur like an actual animal is going to get you to that elder system, which then allows you to get the perks and all the other stuff. Because, like, hey, I'm a Diabloceratops and I want to hang out with like 3 gigas. It's like, I mean, okay, but you'll never get to the end game. That's fine. You know, plus you're going to start freaking out when awful shit happens.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, there are things like that. I know there's the going in the rivers and stuff will like stop your scent from appearing and things like that. So
next question is a bizarre name. Axorix. Will the night vision get any changes or stay the same to prevent from settings changing? Dragging their gamma high.
There is a way around the issue right now with the gamma explorers. Like, we can't do anything about people with their monitors. But we've got a range of options. One of them actually is if you're using night vision, from like a set distance outside of your kind of like radial fog, actually putting an orb around the player, kind of like that circular skybox that games use, and it's just black. You just don't see anything outside of that range. And if you play without your night vision on, of course, the nights, at this point they are pretty much pitch black, but those fires you'll see in the distance, if anyone's using a torch, well, I shouldn't say torch, I should actually say flashlight in this instance, but because back in the day we wanted to have, we explored it, and I was like, we're doing this. This is their job is to make it work. If I'm on a mountain range and I'm 5 kilometers away from a shitload of people with shoulder lamps, or there's a base with lights on, I'll see those lights.
Yeah.
Like, you're just gonna see them in the night, so it doesn't matter. I can look and be like, oh shit, there's a tribe over there because there's fire.
There's smoke.
Yep.
Okay.
So there's that. But the immediate concern is like what's right in front of you. Everyone's just kind of like within that 150 to 250 meter range of kind of obscurity where people should be able to hide that people can't because you've got people doing the gamma abuse. There's adjustments to night vision coming.
Okay.
So, I mean, fuck it. Let them prepare. We'll find ways to snap their necks. You don't deserve that advantage anyway.
Here we go. Nice name. Smug.png asked, with the addition of collision, what will happen when 2 dinosaurs run into each other? Would one push the other back based on size and weight? Or would they just come... Oh, hold on. Or would they just come to a dead stop? I think we kind of covered this yesterday, or Wednesday? Or Thursday? What day is it? Anyways,
it's Friday, I think.
Covered it in the big dinosaur
Wednesday.
knock small dinosaur down. When
Yeah.
somebody asked about like headbutting or ramming.
Well, we've already got dinosaurs running into walls and stuff, and then kind of stopping. So the next step is, if you're going over a certain speed, is that dinosaur to just kind of smack into it because you're an idiot.
Sure.
I know we're gonna do it for charge attacks with like the Packy, the Trike, anything that's meant to run and actually collide with something. If they hit a wall or a tree or something large enough, it'll be a bad time. Hitting other dinosaurs, yeah, you knock their ass over or out of the way. Unless they're so small, you don't knock them out of the way, and you literally just crush them. You know, if a T-Rex runs over a Dryo, he's probably not gonna punt it. He's probably just gonna step on it and be like, "Oh, squishy's in my toesies."
I was gonna say it's like the bug on your windshield.
Yeah.
I gotta go number 2 asked, will nesting remain the same, where you will just store food in the nest so hatchlings can eat from it? Or will things be made more difficult where the parent will need to drag a body to the hatchlings for them to eat?
No, it's so hatchlings eating from a nest is still good. I've always enjoyed that. Having them go from that hatchling to juvenile, though, they start getting on the nutritional diet of like, we need water now and food, not just
food.
Yeah, not just chewed up blech from the nest, which means at that point they can't eat from the nest anymore. So the parents do have to worry about bringing food to them, and that'll be that therein is your problem, you know? Because at that point, hey, do you want a nest right next to a water source? Because
other people are going to move by there.
Yeah, that's probably a bad idea. So then you start playing the actual hardball game of, oh Christ, my tiny little juvenile has spawned right on top of me. So I don't think we're going to change anything from you can eat from a nest. But with the body dragging and stuff, it should be fine for like juveniles and stuff. That's because right now it's mostly been people nesting right next to the water because they'll have to go get it.
Okay, and because it's convenient. Mr. ZSFG, how do you plan to make apexes harder to obtain, keeping the new mid? I guess it's meant to be a comma there. Or
harder to obtain to keeping the new mid tiers relevant. Yeah. Well, the immediate solution that's going to happen is that you don't play as apexes in the very beginning. Like we simply aren't releasing the Recode with like, hey, you can pick the T-Rex, you can pick the Spino. No. All that's going to be there in mid tiers while we work on. We'll probably get 2 or 3 iterations of different systems on how to play an Apex or get them, because just because an idea looks good on paper doesn't mean it's good.
Survive first contact with the player base.
Yeah, because if we made this game for me, it would be ridiculously hard and everyone would hate it. So we can't do that. We can't do any of my ideas.
You're a high tier masochist. So. All right, we're gonna move on. You guys are losing your apexes. Sucks.
No, just for I mean, there'll still be sandbox and people can do whatever they want, but in the actual official capacity, because I've always wanted the experiment. What if you just turned off the highest tier? What if it was only AI?
Okay.
So what if you got like no bigger than Allosaurus, Carnotaurus, things like that? Those were the big things you played as. So you had to worry about that T-Rex, because if you went to fuck with the T-Rex, he's gonna turn around, he's gonna pick you up by your neck, and then he's gonna give you shaking baby syndrome, much like. And then there's like 4 different court cases I could have named there, but I'm not because we have enough people watching.
We don't need to do that. Like as an example, everybody understands. Like, right, you have a limited number of tanks on a team, right? The island can only support X amount of apexes. Beyond that, if you want to get to your adult Rex, you gotta coordinate to wipe that other adult Rex out so you can get one there. No,
that is the worst. That is the worst, and I'm gonna tell you why.
All right.
Actually, I'm gonna show you why.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that would be a big problem in the Chinese and Russian markets. I can see why that would be problematic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So you weren't around. You weren't around for it. For those of you who are curious what I showed him, I just typed in Chinese flag.
Yeah.
Most of you know, if you do not speak Chinese and the Chinese are in the server, you are getting coordinated.
You are dead.
You are. There's going to be a coordinated strike that is going to murder you.
Yeah, it was the same way in Eve. Like, if you didn't have diplomats who spoke fluent Chinese or Russian, the Russian alliances and the Chinese alliances would absolutely dumpster you. Okay, yep. I didn't think about that, but that is an excellent consideration.
Yep.
So,
I mean, well, in an even smaller local example is we did injections, which was, hey, we're gonna throw in like 2 or 3 sandbox dinosaurs into the survival system. We'll let people hatch in others, and then see how that population exists. Because it was fun to like see the dwindling or flourishing non-survival animal, and then you would get like 2 or 3 people in there that would start getting their other friends, and then they would start killing off the other ones to be in control of that population. And then the last thing you need is like just
a coordinated group like mine, or
yeah, you just
dominating. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
no, that is excellent.
Yeah, you do not
foresight.
you don't want hey, I can't play this because there's too many people on, and you don't want, hey, can we have like some form of coordinated genocide?
There have been we slashed a lot of server related questions out of this, but I actually think this is probably a great one to ask. In the future, since this was one of those things that we kind of like redlined, people were asking about more granular server hosting controls. Is that the kind of thing that could be like a, you can whatever, add that into your config for dedicated server hosts that aren't through us or partners?
Anything that you can think of that's like a setting you could tinker with, Brandon's putting in for server hosts.
Perfect.
Like, hey, do you only want feathered dinosaurs? Do you only want scaled dinosaurs? Do you only want dinosaurs from this time period or that time period?
Good.
Do you want dinosaurs AI only? Player only? Not at all. Like that type of shit. So you could have a server that's just straight up tribal warfare.
Oh God.
Yeah, just straight up spear chucking fights. Like that's
right.
great. And at the same time, the actual admin panel, like he wants to go as in depth as Gmod was. So I mean, like,
or
you're
more,
gonna have,
right?
Yeah, you're gonna have a ton of shit.
I like that. I think that's good.
Because I'm sure I guarantee you one of the first things he's gonna do is be like, we need to have a whitelist system, so that way if they have everything enabled, they can still have it. So if only you have to be whitelisted for a T-Rex or something, and then you're gonna have...
Would you guys consider making a spawn system where every map is divided into separate areas and zones that we could choose to spawn to?
Yeah. Okay. Would you guys spawn system every map's divided? So we've considered several different spawn options. I still have always liked magical cages falling from the sky. I think that it gives you ample opportunity to be able to nudge the cage in the direction you want. I like the concept of
where are we dropping, boys?
Well, that's the thing. The opening scene of Predators with Adrian Brody. Have you seen that? That's the opening scene. Boom! Predators.
Jesus.
Welcome to the rice fields, motherfucker.
I guess.
So that same thing with the dinosaurs, but they need to be dropped in cages. And I wanted to actually have it so when the cage drops, because we had cage models, and the doors just boom, the doors blow off, and out you go. So as you're falling in the cages, you could do left, right, forward, backwards, and your dinosaur would slam into the cage, and you would nudge it in that direction. But you would just get regions you would spawn in, just north, northeast, east, southwest, southeast, south.
And would that be tied into the nutritional needs of dinosaurs too? Would it try to preference? I can't.
So
there's a thing that I want to ask about a lore thing, but I'm not going to ask the lore related question. But
you could ask the lore related question. I can just decline to answer it.
I don't want to because I don't want to reveal what I know in stream.
All right. So wait. Nutrition wise, every region that you could spawn in will have the bare minimum, the bare nutritional needs of like 2 or 3 dinosaurs is what it could support. But there will be hot spots of like, hey, this is where they should be because this is where the primary food is of this nutrition
of this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can find herds of this dinosaur here. You might find a couple of them roaming the island, but like these are the hot spots for them. The game trails of this species, and they'll overlap and intersect. So we're basically wanting to make like highways that these dinosaurs would traverse naturally to get from A to B, and then of course the side paths, and that's from like old documents that we had with Rodrigo. Now the spawning doesn't really have anything to do with that, but of my opinion of it is if you were if your group was somewhere, it would just take the location of your group leader and say your group leader is closest to this spawn point, and it would tell you go here. The only other thing I can think of is like regional spawns, and of all the spawns of that region, when you select it, you've got a group, it puts you as close as it can
to minimize the
the distance.
What we call the DayZ tier rally time. Right?
Yeah. Yep. Because no one likes it. In my opinion, I don't care.
I mean, like, I think it's different for guys like you and I because we're used to doing that. Elkin Bear asked, "What plans do you guys have to encourage migrations and mass migrations?"
Well, that's it. That was the highway I was referring to.
Was the creature highways?
Yeah, it is quite honestly the control of food, and we may consider much like those mud baths, dirt baths, find
the
buddies,
social interaction.
Yes, because I know there's going to be sparring. Kiss and Kitten Jarrell will not allow this game to be complete without packies.
Being able to wrestle.
Yeah, without being able to wrestle. Like, I know, even like the Myosaurs, I'm sure, are going to get the stand up on hind legs and fucking body slam each other like walrus seals. Like, I'm sure that's what will end up happening.
I mean, like, I think that's probably good fodder, too, for the people who do take the more harder core RP aspect of the game. It gives them more, warm and fuzzy options to play with.
Well, I mean, I even want that. Like, I want to play it and feel like I'm an actual animal. But with that, there'll also be I want to experiment with it. It might not be a good idea, but your group leader will have specific
scent markers.
No, not scent markers. I'm sorry, my eye hurts. Specific goals himself as a leader that only your group leader could get, and that specific things you'll have in the group that only you can, such as challenge your leader, beat your leader, like. Whoop that ass. Take the alpha spot. You've got testosterone. Like, shit like that.
Sure.
And then, of course, the group leader will be like, hey, you want to go to this region. This grid tile.
This is where the tree stars are, and if you're not here, you're not getting any tree stars.
Exactly.
Noctim asks, when you release the Recode, do you plan to push everything out new out at once, or will we have consistent updates of new dinos being added after the initial release of the Recode?
Oh, this has been addressed 1,000 times.
Yeah, I think this has been.
Yeah, we've said this 1,000 times.
I think that a better question is, besides the post Recode, are there any plans to allow the community to see a roadmap of what it looks like post Recode that will include things like lore specific things that we've talked about that I can't share?
Lore specific? No. They'll have a roadmap of like the technical stuff we'll do, like dinosaur wise, like, hey, this is the next one coming out.
Do you think is the goal to get that new thing that we were looking at earlier into the Recode, or is that going to be a post Recode project, do you think? I guess that's probably more of a
we saw question. Many new things.
This one, I don't want to give it away. This mock-up that we looked at in here.
That's a feature that needs to be in. That's part
for Recode. That's the plan to put that in there.
Yes. Okay. If it's something the Utah Raptor can use, it's needed for the animal to be feature complete.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a basic system that every dinosaur would use. If every dinosaur would use it, it needs to be there.
Okay.
That's how it is.
So then there are new features coming in the Recode, and then there will probably be a technical roadmap that with Kissin and the team that we will compile and then release via our official media, no ETA.
An example for this, the Utah Raptor has been seen picking up a compy and eating it.
Sure.
That is something everyone will use.
Right.
A T-Rex can pick up a Drysaurus and do that.
Right.
Exactly what the Utah Raptor did. So that is something that is a baseline thing that needs to be in for that. There are very few things that will not be in there. That's just because they're like herbivore specific.
Okay. Now, Ace of Blades asked, will creatures like the Spino and Dino be getting a water ambush or sprint function?
Well, yes, obviously. I mean, I know the Dino is going to have a very special fucking. You're going to have a bad time because I'm going to destroy you in the water attack. The Spino, I don't know. And the Spino is currently in a spot that Brian has wanted this forever, and I actually didn't know about it. He sent a video to me like 2 years ago. Actually, shit, it might have been longer than that. When the original Spinosaurus we worked on came out. He's like, so have you ever seen a hippo run underwater?
It's horrific and kind of majestic at the same time.
I was like, no, I have not seen it. He goes, they don't swim. They are negatively buoyant, and they run underwater. And they will catch you, and they will kill you.
Hippos are scary. They look cute, but they do not fuck around.
And so he wants that as the Spino.
Okay.
Can the Spino swim? he can taper himself up to the top of the water, but no, the Spino just
hauls ass.
Yeah, it just rips ass through the water.
Okay.
It doesn't. It is Moses without the Red Sea.
This is like my favorite draw response. We will figure it out.
Let me see if I can find this. This is the one.
Wait,
so
you missed the hippo torpedo one.
No. This is horrifying because the hippo you can see from very far away, and it decides it wants to catch a boat. But you can see the wake of it. Yes, that's all you see.
Look, and the boat accelerates like I'm in danger. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That is. Let's go fast. That thing moves pretty damn quick. But something along those lines for the Spino.
Yeah.
It's being looked at.
Yeah.
Everything is fine here. We're all fine.
We're great. How are you doing?
How are you? Oh, boring conversation anyways.
There we go.
That's probably what I heard.
And there they go.
Hi.
Yeah, they're just gone. And this is a boat that's moving on the water.
Look at that, how much of the wake it generates just underneath.
Yeah.
How much do hippos weigh? Just as much as this Spino weighs.
A lot fucking more than a hippo, which means it would be have you ever seen the moose running through the snow?
Yes.
Where those people are on a path and the moose just fucking...
Well, I'm thinking of the snowmobile one where the moose kept up with the snowmobile and I was like,
Oh yeah, well there's that one too. There's one where they're on a trail and there's like 3.5 feet of snow. And the moose is just running through it, it's nothing.
So yeah, you have this to look forward to in the future, eventually.
Yeah, because I want it when you're running through the water, you start slowing down depending on how high it comes up on your player capsule. And then things like the Spinosaurus, that just doesn't happen to them. They just push through the water. With fucking a knife cutting through jello.
Okay. Well, that's horrific.
There is one more that is
Dino related.
Yeah, so it's a specific scene in this.
Kruger National Park, South Africa.
Oh no, this is the documentary. There is a Monster Quest episode I saw of them looking for a man-eater, and it was like the black crocodile, and they see it in the distance, and they actually go to measure it, and it's like well over like 20 some odd feet.
Jeez, that's huge.
But so when it's swimming, it keeps its neck, now, not the top of its head, its neck and above out of the water, and generates a wake because of how strong and fast it moves. And I was like, that is what I want. That is the horrifying, I'm gonna get you swim. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know if I can find the link.
We could find it later and post it in the Discord for people to look at if they really want to. Athonodon, will there be advanced injury mechanics? Example, broken arms, ribs, etc.
Maybe. And I only say maybe because I know we're doing locational damage. Brandon's brought it up. I think Felipe brought it up as well, but I want to say it was Brandon. I want to blame Brandon for that one. But that's all. I can't say yes or no. I personally think it'd be neat, but I think it would only be neat because for humans it's great because we can treat ourselves.
There's treatment.
As a dinosaur, it's lay down and go shmee and then let it pass.
Hope death comes quickly, I guess.
Yeah, because it's like fucking horses. When they break their leg, goodbye. That's it. When you get that with dinosaurs, it becomes it just becomes annoying. It's not fun. It's fun to inflict that damage and see that damage being inflicted. It is not fun being the inflictee.
Yeah, as a play experience.
Yeah.
Okay. Some of you guys have funny names, and some of them are terrible. Boomer Dragon asked, with attacks that are now based on collision, will we ever see pre-made kill animations, such as a Rex grabbing a galley?
I mean, Jarell, do you want to...
Jarell, hello. We should just... I would say Dragon or Cult. We have no way to both listen. I mean, I guess I grab my Galaxy.
No, I'm not. They're not doing that.
Yes, Rex will be able to do that.
No, I mean, several will. I thought she wanted to show one off. It's fine. Guess not. She doesn't like y'all. Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because there's that. The video.
There's many video.
Many video.
Many proof of concept. I still like the one that Brian worked on where he grabs the Carno by the back of the neck and then just kicks it in the stomach.
Well, if she's okay with it, she should just send that to us so we can maybe show that off. We need to hide the URL though. Nah, we good? Nah, you don't wanna. You don't wanna give them a little love?
No.
You sure?
We gave them love. You gave them too much love.
That's because I love them and they love me.
Because you're dumb.
I'm not.
Oh my god.
I'm a sweetheart.
By the way.
Is that it? Is that?
No, watch him think. But there you go. There's your.
You wanna?
Do I want to show them the scent?
I think you do.
No, I don't.
I think you do.
I don't want to show them shit.
Yeah, all right. Man, that looks cool though. I don't know.
It does. It just needs some stronger orbs because that's gonna get graphically intensive very quickly. You just need the orbs from really far away.
Right.
But overall,
I'm trying, guys. I'm trying to advocate for you, but you guys are just gonna have to wait. Although that looks really damn cool.
It does. Yeah, I know. Imagine people doing their jobs.
I got a good team. You
Right.
assembled the Avengers, man.
Yeah.
Has plus 11,000 subscribers. Is there any plans to implement interactive animations similar to the Utah punts, but they mean pounce, into combat? Like
That's
having a Rex,
such a-
basically the same question. Like having a Rex bite down on a Gig's neck and both players having to spam. Oh no, it's a different question. Having to spam buttons to win the encounter. So Gears of War to your chainsaw fights, but
no, because spamming buttons, macros are a problem.
yeah, auto hotkey would just demolish you.
So the main thing I've always liked is actually Earth Special Forces. It was a Half-Life 1 mod. Dragon Ball Z.
Not EDF, Earth Defense.
Earth Defense. No. Earth Special. I think it was. Earth Special Forces.
Okay.
Yep. So what would happen is when you charged someone in Earth Special Forces, it would do the classic. You're punching the shit out of them, knocking them backwards as you're flying through the air, and you had the ability to do up, down, left, right while you're hitting them. The animation's playing. You're punching the shit out of them, and so you would input whatever you wanted. And the longer you held the button down, the stronger the attack. But you only had a preset amount of time. You'd have like 5 seconds.
So you have to pick, basically.
Yeah. And so the animation's playing, but you're not doing any damage until the input is done.
Okay.
So you could actually, for 5 seconds, just hold the up key. But once you got into a heavy attack, it wouldn't show the opponent what you hit. It would be a question mark. You had to guess. And when you matched their input, you basically...
You defended.
Yeah, you would defend it and then slap them away, and that was it.
And if you didn't, you'd get punched out.
Yeah. And so they would just be beating the shit out of you. And they could continue this combo and technically kill you just from the combo, but it takes so long that it's ridiculous.
Right.
So I've always liked the idea of having that input there. You're biting down and you're just doing inputs, and the longer you do it, then it could go from showing the input that they have to match to a question mark. But the thing is if they blocked a heavy attack versus a quick attack, they threw you off. And there was just a big opening. Obviously, in Earth Special Forces, they could just fight right back. As an herbivore or something else, you could bolt and you're done now.
How would that work in pack-on-pack combat?
Well, it doesn't, because at some point you have to get into the fact that it's a video game and I have 2 animators.
Right.
And at the same time, we aren't going to have 3 T-Rexes clamped down on one thing.
Right.
And it be like, now there's a kill animation. What would end up happening... one bites down. Okay, cool. Now the second bit down, which is just amplifying what the first one's doing.
Okay.
And then the third one. And it's just at that point, as Brian had suggested, and I do believe is what we should be going with, is that It's a stamina battle, not so much a health battle.
Who can hold on the longest?
Once your stamina runs out as the herbivore and a large animal has a hold of you, you're done. It kills you. It doesn't matter what your health was at. What matters is your stamina.
Because it's how much fight you got left in you.
Yep. And once that stamina runs out, he puts you on the ground and he takes you out. That's it. That's the end.
Okay.
Or just the T-Rex's jaws close. He's just simply
I might have to download that and take a look at it. Yep. Cool. I think that's a great expansion upon that question too.
Because if you break out of one, you could technically break out of all of them. It doesn't matter. It's just and when you break out of it, it's gonna. I think personally, if they did something like they held down the up key and you guessed up, not only do you fling them off, they lose their balance, they fall over and have to get back up. And you've
got time to escape.
You've got more than enough time to escape, and it's gonna give you like some sort of like fucking panic boost or something where you infinite stamina for like 10, 15, 20 seconds where you're just
I gotta get the fuck out or I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Later, homeboy.
Tragic asked, will hiding places such as small logs for lower tier and smaller dinos be implemented in the new map? I also think that ties in with people who are asking about caves and other things too in the map.
Yes. So most of it comes from the fact that the jungle is so thick now. As a smaller dinosaur, you can kind of just hide anywhere.
Right.
But the smaller logs and crevasses, yes.
And there were changes to the grass, right, to prevent people from changing their settings all the way to low, so the grass stays.
Yeah. So I'll just tell people now. Well, the grass type, there's actually a config line in UE4 that allows you to set like, hey, this is what it's going to look like on epic, high, medium, and low. And all it is the placement of it. It actually doesn't alter the thickness. It's just the placement of it, which is really weird. So unless that's changed in recent ones, it might have altered, and we'll find out. I'll just ask Brandon, or I'll go look myself. But we just have a persistent setting for all of them. So no matter what you have it on, the banana plant that you see on Epic is what
you see on
what Jim
toaster.
English would see on his corroded PC that is now playing on low settings.
Jim, we love you.
The only setting that will matter is how quickly they billboard. And I'm going to manually go through all of the billboards and make sure playing on low settings is not giving you an advantage.
And for people who aren't familiar with what billboarding means, what does that mean?
Your 3D model turns into a 2D model, which means it goes from being like this nice pretty plant to literally a flat image.
So like isometric style.
Yeah.
Okay.
It goes from pretty 3D to Doom.
Right. Okay.
Old Doom.
Old
Doom. And so it'll just change. It'll change the distance of which it billboards, and I'm gonna make sure that those billboards are done in such a way that if you are one of those assholes that's running on a 2080 Ti and they're like, it's just like DayZ, I'm gonna put it on low settings so I ain't gotta render all that foliage. All right, cool. This is gonna fuck your world up. You do not have an advantage playing on low settings. If nothing else, it will be a detriment.
That was my biggest complaint in games like DayZ and PUBG.
Yeah, just playing on low so you can see through everything. That's not the case here, and if you don't like it, too bad. Get a job upgrade.
I mean, yeah, or just, deal with it being on low. Enjoy your isometric grass.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Everything gets to hide because you can't see through any of that grass because it's not 3D.
Yeah, I think that's great. Yeah, you're actually doing yourself a disadvantage.
Yep. Snipers laying in the middle of wheat fields. You might be able to see them on high settings. You can get a glimpse of them moving around, but not if everything's 2D.
And somebody in that same vein, somebody asked about tall grass distortion, like that scene in Lost World with the raptors in the grass.
So we've had it to where grass
deforms,
moves around as things move through it. It's material related. I am going to put everything I can into trails. Not the grass doesn't just move away and then bend back into place. I want it to go over.
So you can tell and flatten when you run over it.
Yeah. I really want that, I really want that feeling of like, oh shit, something big came running through here.
Or even as a great example, your lights on the mountaintop. Okay, the guy looking through a pair of busted old binoculars watching a migration through a field can't see what the dino is, just sees the size of the deformation. No, because
I'll tell you now, deformation is expensive. You wouldn't be able to see it until a dinosaur came within
X of whatever.
Yeah, max lot rendering distance, and the problem is that he won't see the whole trail of which they went through. It'll just be when it started rendering in the deformation. So they could have been going through this massive field, and he just sees a magical trail appear. but it's a video game and better than nothing.
Sure. No, yeah. I mean, thanks for answering the question, because that's the kind of thing that I think a lot of people who don't work with the engine or even develop games would have no idea. So, somebody will probably clip that, and that'll be coming handy later. Sarian asked, I remember a while ago there were concepts of different strains of plants, some of which were huge or would be dangerous to players. Are they still planned for the future?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Don's a sadist. You think that's going away?
Oh, no. No, go watch the original Jumanji. Go watch the original Jumanji.
Yeah, I probably could have answered that one without having to say anything. Alfredo asks, I know customization is important to some people. It helps them immerse better in the game. Will there be more skins, colors, and cosmetic features to choose from?
Yes. Skins, absolutely. Colors, absolutely. Cosmetic features, we've gotten to the point now. We've got the dimorphism. We also have the I wanna look into it. I wanna see if we can just change certain parts of the dinosaur, like the horns and things like that, on the Triceratops, instead of just giving the old tricorns from
chipped or...
not chipped.
Oh, just like...
You could have like the actual, this is theorized circa 20 whatever,
sure,
that the tricorns just grew curved down, and that's what you want because it's accurate. And as long as it doesn't identify it as a completely different creature, fine, cool.
That'll be on the table.
You know, hey, do you want your Trudon to have like gecko eyes, or what type of eyes?
And because I can imagine this coming now, I can see this question coming up, and probably best to head off at the pass. There are no immediate plans to add things like your purchasable cosmetic, whatever, glowy eyeball, fairy wings.
No. The only thing I've ever thought of, the only thing that is even remotely on my mind for could you ever buy something in the future, is, do we have two dinosaurs that are like precisely the same fucking thing? Such as Giga and Carcharodontosaurus. You don't know what they are. Everyone there, for the most part, does. And
this one goes out to you.
Yeah, it's, hey, do we want to invest in making a dinosaur that's already the exact same thing? Or, hey, do you want to replace your T-Rex with a fucking Tarbosaurus?
I was just waiting. I was like, I see where this is going.
You can just buy the model swap. That'll swap the models. It'll swap sounds, but functions the exact same as something else. It is the exact same thing. It just looks and sounds different.
You know what your counter behind us needs? Fleshy Tarbosaurus. Azura asks, will the ocean be more intense, bigger waves, etc. during a storm? Oh man, there's a lot of cool ocean stuff happening.
There is a lot of cool ocean stuff happening. Right now we're working on something called an infinite ocean. Unfortunately, I can't really give that one an answer, because we are far away from Fun Boy Ocean Time. And I don't even know if we're doing like a full-on ocean environment in the Isle, or it's like, hey, we're gonna do like a complete like standalone DLC ocean thing where if you never wanted to play as dinosaurs and stuff, you could just play the ocean. Yeah, you could play the ocean game. I don't know, because I'll tell you this: the two people that need to want to do it, which is Brian and Jake. They were just like, ocean DLC when, ocean game when, and I'm like, when we have a fully finished game, like don't put this evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Yeah, and I think that to reiterate for the 2000 you watching, like, game comes first, DLC later.
Yeah, like it's the I thought about it and it might be DLC. All right, I don't care about it anymore because that's where it'd be. So it's just dead to me until we've got the game done.
It'll live in a Trello, ready to be worked upon until the game is done and Drell decides you can touch it now.
Subnautica confirmed is. I'll tell you this: if the Subnautica devs ever let me, like, hey, can I
muck about in their world?
Yeah, muck about in their world. Let me use one of your fucking Leviathans and let me make a gritty, monstrous, real version of it, and I would totally do it.
I think I was watching IGP's coverage of that, which got me really interested in it.
Oh, you should play. You need to play Subnautica. It's not my style of art at all.
Right.
And I hate games that are cartoony. Yeah. But I still managed to play it. I haven't finished it because I just fucking get lost in my sub and just scoot around because it's so cool, and I'll just sit there and
explore.
Yeah, just sit there and watch shit.
I think that there's definitely an interest in market for that within the Isles world, which I mean that's kind of cool. Wet sand that bad boy. Anyways,
Anthony Don, I'll pass the message along to my contacts. Hey, I'll tell you what. Tell them I'll build one of their Leviathans in our art style for free just to see if they like it.
Poor Bardo.
Poor Bardo. I meant free for them, not free because I still have to pay Bardo for all the dumb random shit I have him do privately for me.
Girls gotta eat.
Yeah.
Jack asked, will it be possible for rewards to be cut off in the future due to certain triggers?
Getting bitten and falling. Yes, I want it. It's like if something's roaring in the middle of us and all of a sudden it just snaps away. Yeah. Like I think it's very important, especially if you hear a broadcast get cut short because you heard a gunshot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That would be...
Yeah. You just hear a giant T-Rex roar and then it's just like... Bye.
That sounds an awful lot like a rifle. What?
Crack-a-boom. Yeah.
Thanks
for roaring. I know where your lungs are now. I still just want my unga bunga.
I really don't want to get spear chucked, but I already see it happening many times in my future.
Well, again, the Elder system, which is very close to the replication system, at a certain point, it's just going to be a bad time.
We're rapidly approaching the forbidden zone.
It's going to be a bad time.
Yes.
When something the size from Avatar comes rolling out of the fucking woods. And just kebabs you and leaves you on a steak.
Don't want that. I don't want that. We're approaching the forbidden zone.
I know we're approaching the forbidden
until we figure out the call to action and get you your replicate tattoo then. UK Ash asked, currently AI spawns in close proximity of a carnivore when hunger reaches 70% and lower. Will AI continue to spawn in this order, or will they be on the map?
No. I know the answer to that. No. Yeah. I very specifically have ground rules for the AI now. AI was put in as a measure because we were having problems with the game because there was holes in it.
And feeding issues.
For reasons we all know.
Yes.
That's why they're now on a different path. But the point being is that I want an actual ecosystem. Like, I want people to not even play the game and go watch. Like, very specifically, go into a server, hit your observe button as an admin, and watch the world and be like, oh, this is cool as shit.
Right, and I think that ties into the
JPOG Site B.
The AI packs that we were talking about during the other stream too, right? The plan is to have other AI packs roaming the island to fill in and make that world breathe more instead of I can tell when there's a carnivore nearby because there's a bunch of little dudes running around.
Yeah.
Gunner Game asked, will grazing be a sustainable way to fill hunger, or will it be more of a temporary fix of hunger? Any additional info about this is appreciated. While he answers that question, I'm going to grab something to drink because I'm thirsty.
You can go to the YouTube video of the dodo and look at the stray dog they rescued that was eating leaves to survive. That's what grazing is. It is a stopgap. If you are in a field, you should be able to eat grass. Is it nutritional for you? No. Will it stop you from starving? Yes.
Calories are calories.
Yep. Calories are calories. Dinosaurs all have niches that they want in their tum-tums. There will be plants for that. None of it is grass. It will never fill you up. It will simply prevent you from dying. And if that becomes a situation where you end up going in between two regions and you're stuck eating grass because you can't get anywhere with food because you made a bad decision on where to go, animals starve in the wild all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. Like now, mind you, as long as it's not unintentional holes in the ground, as far as I'm concerned, if you get, there are places that are designed to fuck you, and you will get stuck at times. Animals get stuck in the wild and they die.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Tar pits.
Yeah. Don't be dumb.
Yeah. Bewitcher asked, would natural disasters and extreme weather events be considered for the future, such as forest fires, blizzards, extreme heat waves, etc.? And I will add on my own little bit to that. People starting forest fires.
No.
You don't want that?
I wanted it. I really did. And the more I looked at it, here's the problem. You're going to get... You understand how devastating fire is. Look at Look at Australia.
Dude, the neighborhood I used to live in.
Burnt
to the ground.
Yeah. All it takes is one jackass that's persistent with a torch, and he should be able to level the whole island.
Yeah.
The closest you would get would be like Far Cry Primal. You throw the fire in the ground and it does an AoE. And I do like that. Let's burn everything. But we start rapidly approaching that we need rockstar levels of employees and contractors to start doing things.
Rock asks, will predators get any advantage?
Well, no, we're not done.
Yeah,
we're not done.
Weather events?
We did fire.
There was conversation about weather Wednesday.
There was
Clouds and rain and dry river beds that will become not dry river beds potentially.
If they do them. If they do them. We are going to send it to the wizards.
I like Trio of Terror. I really like that a lot.
I like the council.
The council?
The council. We're gonna take it to the council.
Council of Pain.
And we're gonna propose it.
Okay.
Now, I like calling it the council, but usually it just goes Felipe says Don wanted it, so we're gonna do it. It's just like, all right, well, I mean, fuck yeah. Slaves!
Let's go.
But there's the potential for snow, there's potential for every biome. Obviously, you all have heard me talk about certain buildings.
Sure.
Inside of those buildings, technically I could make anything happen because it doesn't affect the whole island. It affects a box.
Right.
Which is great. I can do that. But it's a very debatable thing. Because
so if the council implements, then yes, but
otherwise it's just going to be very cool visually to just go through.
Yeah, I guess the pseudo answer is it is on our radar and being examined, but there is no hard yes or no for that yet, right?
Yes.
Basically, it's in the prototyping phase to see if it can be implemented well.
Yeah, because if you do it shittily,
it's gonna make
then it's just annoying.
Yeah.
Like getting really hot on a beach and then walking into the fucking ocean water to cool off, and then 5 seconds later, after you get back onto the beach, you're suddenly dying of heat stroke again, even though you have no clothes on, and then you're like, what the fuck even is this?
Yeah. Okay.
But if I did like a whole island of like one biome, then I definitely could, but I'm not planning on doing that right now. Scum is a good example of something that does it right, though.
I haven't touched it, so I can't.
We should play Scum after this stream.
Take a look at it. Okay.
Yeah, no, I think Scum is the perfect blend. By the way, I trashed the shit out of Scum when it first came out because it was just frustrating.
Okay.
Now it is fun.
Okay.
It is actually good. Scum is the perfect blend of in between Arma and not casual survival, but casual survival controls.
Okay.
Because Arma is very clunky.
Complex. Yeah,
no,
it's not intuitive.
Not complex, just clunky. You want to change your stance?
Alt.
Stop moving.
Yeah, stop moving.
Stop moving.
Hit 2 different keys.
Yep. Whereas in Tarkov,
yeah, it's scroll wheel.
Yep, and it's very smooth, which is great. I love Tarkov's movement. I almost want to be like, hey, rip their fucking looting system because that is just fun.
Oh, the search.
Yes, I love the searching mechanic in Tarkov.
And you get faster at it the more you do it.
Yeah. So.
Okay. So, do you think we covered? I think we covered.
Yeah, we covered it.
Yeah, basically, it's being prototyped, and if it can be done well, then it will be done, and if not, then no.
Yep.
Tarkov did a lot right. I'm a big fan. Okay. Anyways, sorry. Yesterday was good. So was the other stream. Durock, I'm going to try again now in this one. Durock asked, will predators get any advantage or reward over its prey for playing in a strategic and stealthy way, stalking and attacking by surprise at a perfect moment, other than just landing the first bite like it is right now?
Well, yes.
I think that the trike mechanic thing.
The trike mechanic's a good one. Yeah, you pounce it from the front and die.
And suffer the consequences of poor planning.
Yeah. So, as I have shared with Jarell, I don't remember if she fully agreed with this, but I have given my unilateral, like, we're going to try it this way, if nothing else. Things like the Utah Raptors pounce.
Sure.
Hitting an animal from behind. It is at your mercy. And if you have the stamina to kill it, you kill it.
Okay.
An animal your size or smaller, obviously. Not like, hey, I hit a trike from behind, I get to win now.
Yeah.
For that one, you just get to ride it like a lion riding a hippo.
Hang out for a minute.
Yeah. But hitting things from the side or the front, from the side, obviously, after a second or two, it's going to get the opportunity to fight back.
You give it the old cow tipping attempt, and if that doesn't work... Then...
Yep, and if you hit it from the front, it just immediately gets to fight back. Okay. So the reward is your damage output is...
Greater or lower.
Yeah, greater or lower, and you're going to be taking damage. Not only are you losing stamina, you're taking damage at this point, fighting this thing.
It sounds like it would reward... well-coordinated packs too on other pack combat. So if your Utah's blowing into people,
hitting something with a bite, just like going, I'm gonna bite this thing.
Yep.
It doesn't do anything. It's nipping it for the most part now. That's the idea. being able to bite and clamp down on something and hold it, it is no longer what gets the first bite. I really want to move gameplay into, did you see it coming, more than anything else.
Were you attentive or aware enough to see this coming
like
at you?
if a predator gets a hold of you, it should win most of the time.
Which will drive it to more skill-based combat than like bleed mechanic abuse.
Yes, it needs to be more about the lead up, because that's how I wanted it to be before. And we started to go in that direction, and then it just got all fucky lucky.
Yeah.
And that's fine, because now better people are here. So
the trio of terror is in effect.
Yeah. We'll take it to the clergy.
We'll take
it to the clergy. But yeah, the lead up of, did you see the predator coming anyway? You know, because like even if a lion gets its ambush down on its prey in the savannah, sometimes shit gets away. You know, and that's fine. And when they don't get their ambush down on things like a water buffalo, well, bad shit happens. But at the same time, I don't want combat to be super long and drawn out either. Because when you have a bunch of people playing together in a herd, you start losing that conscious playing as a dinosaur thing, and then it becomes where people were cognitively thinking on a level much further than any animal would. Like, yeah, sure, we're all Mayas. Do we have claws and weapons? No, but there's 10 of us, and there's only 2 Allos, and we could just collectively body slam them. Absolutely could, but those dinosaurs would never do that, so we have to start putting in things that discourage it
from doing that.
And more importantly, we want that animal to kind of die, because you also don't want to have that situation of like seeing Komodo dragons eat something alive. It's just sitting there for like 30 minutes with its organs just all over the fucking ground, just like, this is happening, and it knows it's dying. You don't want that as a player. You don't want to sit there and be like, I'm dying, and you just have to watch it for a half hour. It just needs to be over. Once you have lost, you should just be dead. You don't need that collective, it is alive. Now, mind you, we might let the player lose control and be like, you are dead, and then we could leave that animal writhing on the ground, playing some splayed out, freaking out animation for the next few minutes while it's being consumed or left for dead.
Gotta firmly cement that M rating.
Yeah. Dad needs his M-rated game. Like, I need my violence and my gore and my reasons to tell parents that this is an M-rated game. Please stop buying this for your children.
Kids. Yeah.
You know? Like, come on now.
There's no way that we can like mitigate that. That's on them. Terracinian asked, with Isla Sparrow, I really want to say Sparrow.
No, shut up.
Being made up of several islands, will there be ways to travel from one island to another, such as sandbars, low tides revealing land bridges, or maybe even abandoned human bridges? I feel like some of that's already in the new map, though.
There's like a sandbar kind of thing.
Yeah.
I haven't manually put in the other stuff. With the Infinite Ocean, I want to look at tides that are done in a smart way, as opposed to like
change elevation, drop elevation, change elevation, drop elevation. Penzu asked, any plans on allowing dinos to gain some hydration from eating? Some predators gain all the water they need that way, and some plants contain very high amounts of water.
Yep. Jarell has very specifically asked for that for the herbivores, because she's the herbivore advocate. She loves playing Runaway Simulator. With the exception of the Tenontosaurus,
Simulator.
Which is why the Tenontosaurus is probably going to be fucking busted on release, like for Riot Games, and
Apparently we got really quiet.
Did we?
Yeah.
Did we? No, we didn't. We're still at the same volume. But so the Tenontosaurus is going to be like Set or Aphelios on release, just super overtuned. Because she likes Tenontosaurus, so it's got like all these fucking kicks and tail whaps and all this other shit, and at this point I'm just curious if it's ever going to stand up on its hind legs and go Kamehameha and fucking shoot a key blast at someone because it's her favorite dinosaur.
Is that like the same as like Russian bias in like tank games?
You are correct. I know.
You are correct.
Exactly. That's why when Tenontosaurus comes out, I'm gonna vibe check.
Wait, can I?
Does
that mean that I'm getting grenades?
Yeah.
And variable mines. Somebody brought that up.
Not
and I was like,
variable
that doesn't
mines.
sound like a very compelling gameplay experience, because like think back for those of you who are old enough to have played like COD 4 when it first came out. Just imagine how absolutely terrible it was to run into the Claymore. All you hear is the click, and then you just have to like wait for the rest of the round. Yeah, and then done.
That was it.
Like that's not for me as a non-developer and as a player. That is not a compelling gameplay experience.
D'Artagnan. I love that name.
D'Artagnan asks, "Will animals get more complicated threat displays when feather physics are in?" I am. Don, you're gonna have to read that one out because I don't even know what that is.
Yes. Feathered animals,
Yeah, okay.
when doing threatening animations, will get fluffy puffies.
Give me the hipsy big eyebrow.
Well, I really want their eyebrows to go up and then rattle, like just shake
Have I
really
ever
hard.
shown you my cat Rocky's tail? He does this.
You're talking about Bean, right?
Like Bean.
Okay.
He has the angry tail, and he's almost like a pseudo rattlesnake. And that all the motion is from like this part of the tail up. Nothing here at the base. Just it goes up, and then he's like, "Fuck you," and that's it. So
no, I've never seen Angry Bean.
I'll have to make sure I get video of that.
No Angry Bean.
But that's what I think when I think of like the hipsy eyebrows. Altered asks, "Are there any plans to add amphibians such as the paleo nerds, the basal bufo?" Oh, I don't even know. Is that even spelled right?
I like that Coolasuchus.
The Coolasuchus.
Coolasuchus.
I think Diplocalus is probably one that I can pronounce.
I mean, this is not a simulation of an ancient world.
It's not Paleozoic.
There is a particular reason we chose dinosaurs and only dinosaurs, not mammoths, not saber-toothed tigers, not the fucking
the frozen caveman from...
not the fucking Neanderthals, Cro-Magnon motherfucker. No, none of that shit. Every time goes, "Are you gonna put in the mammoth because you got the dinosaur?" And I've said no 50 times, and they think that just because they've asked a month later, I've forgotten and somehow I've changed my mind. No.
We should probably add that to the FAQ of questions to stop asking. Well, I'll make a note of that.
Yeah, like this is not a dinosaur simulator because you will never be.
Well, I think that we've covered that
in the environment of an ancient world. You have ancient creatures being brought into a modern world.
I mean, there's and anybody who's looked at the maps, right? There are tons of human structures on these maps, so those questions probably need to be filtered away since.
Yeah, no, we aren't doing like even ambient stuff for the most part is not
because they're not necessary for
like I think the furthest we've gone away from anything is Megalania, which is just basically a giant Komodo dragon, and Titanoboa, which is exactly what it sounds like.
Okay.
And primarily it's because we owned a Titanoboa that came with everything else when we first started the game. And Megalania because Jake really wanted to do one, and I was like, I could probably work in something horrifying with that.
We can make it happen. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Alec asks, will Terra be able to catch fish while flying? If so, will he do it with his mouth or legs?
I'm pretty sure it's gonna have to do it while flying, and I don't know. Like I don't know because I don't care. He says no Titanoboa.
Hanky bad animal. Sorry, I'm contractually obligated to say that for Brian. Mouth? Kissin says mouth. Probably mouth. Kissin says mouth.
Okay. Like it shouldn't be able to. Last I checked, it doesn't grab anything with its legs. I was just saying I don't give a shit.
Yeah, so probably mouth to actually answer that question. Kissin says mouth. More than likely, it will be mouth.
Yeah. Apparently, no Titanoboa. Felipe does not want to do that. Fuck y'all.
Titanoboa, bad animal. Anki, good animal.
Well, there you go. The wizard just.
Well.
You just removed the snake. Congratulations, Felipe. You remember how you were beloved by the community? You just killed that. Just one sentence killed that. You are no longer the favorite.
On the coffee cup, we'll put the Titanoboa bad on the other side of it.
He's been demoted.
Prickle Chicks asks, we've seen carnivores have the ability to carry the carcasses of other dinosaurs. Will there be something similar in herbivores to carry the grass and bushes?
No, and Girelli really wants there to be, and she'll fight me on it, and she's going to lose because I said no.
So why, can I ask?
Okay.
Not because mom and dad are fighting, but more because of what's to stop a trike from dragging a bush?
What's to stop a trike from dragging a bush?
Weird phrasing, but...
Yeah, already it's going to be bad with carnivores once people start taking chunks out. Once you take
With the
chunks
newborn
out,
model.
yeah, and that's another reason I wanted to add stuff to the nest of like, hey, you have to put food in the nest.
Okay.
So you consume the food as an animal and you put it in the nest. Now with carnivores, it also means that like swallowing, you have to swallow the food. So you can't just like pull a chunk out of a dinosaur and just be like, "Bleh, here you go." Because what we'll do is we'll have that disappear really, really, really quick.
Is that going to be something visible in nests instead of in the menu when you open up a nest menu? So like, can somebody steal from other nests by being able to see like, hey, this nest has fresh
No,
food
because
deposit?
when we put food in it, it's meant for hatchlings. It's going to be like just vomit,
Okay.
basically. And I'm not going to be like, hey, you guys model vomit.
Okay, yeah,
No one wants to do that.
like model puke.
Yeah. So it'll be in the nests and hatchlings will know. Now, mind you, can you steal eggs? Yeah, sure, fine, whatever. But
Okay.
like the baby bird vomit, no. Now, that being said, we might just transfer it and say, instead of feeding your nest or just feeding it, you just feed the baby directly. Might be a thing that we do.
So that
Could be possible.
so that there's more involvement other than like I go eat from the bush and then go and deposit some of my stomach into the nest and then go eat a bush again.
Yeah.
And I'm good to go.
Now the thing is that we need some sort of kind of like less stress on the server of just like, oh hey, everyone's carrying
Sure,
everything
less overhead.
at least it's just carnivores right now. And with the herbivores, we also like they are the driving keystone of where carnivores will be. Specific prey types.
Is your concern because if herbivores are able to drag their food elsewhere, it will take them out of the planned migration
Yes.
paths, which
Yeah.
will okay.
Yeah, you wanna it's like what we saw last night.
Sure.
The ritual has to be a free will.
Right.
Sure, we rig it as much as we have to, but in the end, they don't transgress.
They have-
They can't be punished.
Correct. Okay. But
We'll go over it later. I'm not doing it now.
My goal with the Q&A is to at least try to get Don to explain more beyond the no so that people can see what that thought process is. So when I see Don give a no, I want to ask why so that other people understand where his train of thought is as the creator. So
Well, all right, then use it as a koala. All right, koalas are easy. They're a dumb, stupid fucking animal, right?
Who can
But
barely reproduce.
yes, but the babies basically have to eat shit.
Pandas, I think.
No, koalas. The babies eat koala shit because
Oh.
their stomachs can't digest properly. It's easier than saying vomit, like
Okay.
birds would.
Sure.
I use birds for like the rex, the raptor, things
Because
like
they're
that.
already
that are
partially
more bird-like.
digested.
Yeah. So things of this nature, because I also think that's why poop is an important mechanic. I think it would be great for the young to be able to pull things like that, and it's very important because with your happy little mercendaries,
Yeah, you can track from spore.
you can not only can you track from spore, you can lure from spore.
Here is my, as somebody who works very closely with Punch and the mod team, and mods don't hesitate to ride herd on people who start discussing scat mechanics again. Until something is prototyped and ready to go, don't speculate on poop mechanics because you guys are weird and you guys make the Discord really bizarre for like 4-hour chunks at a time talking about poop.
No, it's just like a hunting game would be
Sure.
though, with the poop. It's not like
You're not gonna be that's a big pile of shit.
well, you'll still see a big pile of shit. But my point is that like it's handled in an actual logical fashion, and if you want to use it as a fucking meme, like
Or
there's
it should just
aisle
be
memes for
autonomous because you're animals, right?
Yeah.
Horses don't
Yeah.
go somewhere special to go to the bathroom. They just keep going.
it. Yeah, they're just up
just
the tail
happens.
and
Yeah.
da-da.
So, okay. All right. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for elaborating on that. I'm sure that other people appreciate that.
Yeah.
That is a really I hope that's a piece of cheese and not
Yes,
a turd.
it's stinky cheese.
Cool. You guys are weird. Dino Adventure asks, oh, this is a great one, actually. It was mentioned a long time ago that the flying dinosaurs can act as scouts for the other carnivores and other players. Do you guys plan to allow it, or do you have some method to prevent this? Well, I think that the mixed pack debuff penalties will happen there, obviously.
Well,
But at the end of the day, like, you can't stop, Joe
No,
from
you
hopping
can't.
in a Discord.
yeah,
right?
you can't stop Joe from hopping in a Discord. Obviously, dinosaurs won't be able to fly forever. But also with the jungle coverage, if you've ever seen that from the top down now,
Yeah.
it's not that easy.
Yeah, you can't really see through the foliage.
And it's not an arcade game. You can't just be like, cacaw, and fucking now everything with a special ability is highlighted for you to see through the trees. That's not how it's gonna work. Like, the Pteranodon is focused on coastal fishing, you know? Or, conversely, spotting carcasses, going to the ground, eating, and taking off at the first sign of trouble.
Getting out as quickly as it can.
Yes. So, yeah, I mean, it's a...
yeah, I mean, I think the new map kind of solves the scouting issue a lot.
Yeah, if you don't want to be spotted by a fucking UAV, go in the jungle.
Yeah.
Which is where quite a few things are going to be. And then there's other stuff that's just so small, it's not easy to see without flying close to the ground. Can the Pteranodons, like, have possible binocular vision? Yeah, probably, but that still doesn't change the fact that dinosaurs with intelligent color selection are not easily spotted.
Well, and that's a great like a similar parallel that you can draw, right? Anybody who's flown helicopters or planes in Arma, right? Trying to spot infantry from the ground is difficult, even against an urban backdrop where they're in like blue camos against concrete. Just that size and at that height, it's difficult. So I imagine that is something that will be just a natural,
And the height you would the height you would need to be like is close to the ground for you to spot stuff
puts
easily.
you in danger.
Yeah, you're running into the option of hitting shit. And at the same time, as far as I'm concerned, if a Pteranodon ever flies and smashes into something like a T-Rex, that thing's gonna crumple like a piece of paper and it's gonna die, if not is already dead. Yeah, and then the T-Rex is gonna be like, oh, what the fuck? Ow.
Yeah.
Food.
Yeah. Ooh, piece of candy.
Yeah.
Cool. This is not okie dokie, but is it okie dokie? Will there be different stages of leg breaks, as in a minor tumble causes a sprain and a longer fall does more damage in the long run?
I mean, we could. The issue that I want to avoid, I kind of just want to have it where it's like I don't even want to have leg breaks anymore. I know they're important, but I want a way to get around them, like
that is creature specific, right? Because we covered the in
breaking
location specific damage.
Breaking your leg sucks. That's
yeah.
just what that is. Breaking your leg sucks. They're just like, it's like a fucking horse. Once your leg is broken, why are you here? You are now in timeout for 10 to 15 minutes, which isn't enjoyable.
No.
Like,
I agree.
I almost never break my leg. And when I do, I know that I deserved it because I was an idiot, But it's still not fun. So Lord only knows. And don't get me wrong, I don't pity the people that do dumb stuff and just break their leg all the time. I just don't care.
That cliff came out of nowhere, man.
No, it didn't. Open your fucking eyes.
It did when I wasn't looking.
Exactly.
That's my issue with leg breaking. Or like my least favorite
was part of the problem. You can't fucking outlook.
Was when I slipped down the damn hill and like just went a little too fast. That's an old map issue. That's not a
that's not a map issue. That is, we don't have sliding in, which we will now. Like being able to, once you go down like something steep, it's just your animal's gonna lock onto the ground and just be like, oh shit, I'm skidding. And then if it keeps going for too long or too far, then your animal's gonna fucking tumble.
Because there's that clip from like 2 years ago, the last time you and I were running around, and I destroyed myself.
Yeah.
I mean, we could still keep it, but it would be more niche based on what actually happened to you. Yeah, and I think that would fit Drell into the topic of location specific damages, right? That is being examined and prototyped.
I'm gonna let Niv actually be recognized in this. If you break your leg on the map, it's on you. Combat should be fast to take out of combat. No, because there are certain dinosaurs that are going to benefit from things like that. Like an animal being able to snap your fucking leg isn't because it's now going to win the fight and kill you. It's because now you can't chase it.
Right.
You get a Packy slamming full force into like a juvenile Allosaurus's leg or a Carno's leg. You've dismantled its ability to chase and murder you.
Right.
You sticking around its mouth, it's still gonna murder you. Because even though you have crippled it, you have not killed it, it's still gonna win.
Yeah, if you don't make survival positive decisions.
Yeah, and that's, as far as I'm concerned, if you broke something's leg to get away, good on you. If you broke something's leg for you to continue to fight it, you're still gonna get fucked up. Because here's the thing. If you put me in an enclosure with a lion that has a snapped fucking leg.
Right.
Oh yeah, I can get away.
Yeah.
Its leg's broken. If I walk up to that lion and start slapboxing the motherfucker, he's gonna maul me and kill me.
Right.
And I deserve that. So I just simply have to go in the other direction. And at no point in time and I don't care, I'm going to use the Dinosaurus as this example. If you broke something's leg, that doesn't mean you get to go up to it and fucking talon slapbox the thing to death now. I don't care. And I know Jarrell wants it. You're not getting it. So that goes with any animal. I think the only thing that really has an exception is an offensively based creature such as a Triceratops, where it can just gore you to death.
Sure, bleed you out.
Yeah.
As with all things that we discuss mechanically, all things subject to change. It don't work as a gameplay experience. It don't work.
Yeah.
Right. Sly asks, will there be a way to customize almost all parts of your creature? Example, different pattern choices for general parts of the body, more colors found in the real natural world, eye colors, claw colors, etc. I feel like that's almost approaching like Need for Speed Underground dinosaur status. Like I got the red claws and the magenta eyeballs.
There's no, you're not gonna get something dumb, but I will happily give customization to the triumvirate.
Sure.
And let the triumvirate do as much as they can, because I like the idea of very nice vivid patterns, but I don't want some sort of eye rape hot pink animal out there that's pure hot pink. It's just no.
Yeah, because it wouldn't survive in the wild or in the pseudo wild that the Isle represents.
Yeah, no, that's some shit you would find if you go to like the Bermuda Triangle. So
that's a different optional DLC 3 years from now. It just deletes your System 32.
That's better.
Pay $15, reinstall Windows. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the canvas bag bait and switch. I think everybody happy with the answer for that question though. Customization, yes. Whatever the triumvirate can make happen.
Happens. Yeah, I know. I can just be like, Fred, make more patterns.
Yeah,
make
do.
And Ikrop's gonna be like, oh God, why? And I'm gonna go because, and that's it.
Blood Moon asks, how will pounced animals be able to get rid of the predator attacker? That probably goes. We can circle back to your answer.
Yeah, we've already done that.
Yeah, we've answered that kind of just in the expansion of the question in that potential dual mechanic, for lack of a better phrase.
Well, there's that, and then there's also, if depending on how big you are, if you get like a Utah Raptor on you,
shake them off.
Well, you could shake them off, but at the same time, it's also not really doing much to you.
Right.
Yeah, like they're on a they're
well,
just
it's like the little birds, right? That perch atop the top of the crocs and like nip at the top and scavenge from it.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Well, this is more. I was thinking more like the lions and the hippo. You get like 20 lions on a hippo. The hippo still ends up crushing one and walking away.
Right.
And that's what's going to happen with a trike in a Utah. Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Yeah.
Could I fist fight Mike Tyson? If I ever saw him, yes. And he would fucking destroy me in one hit. So just because you can doesn't mean you should. No.
Anyways.
No, I'm fairly certain if he hit me, I would just go straight to the fucking Shadow Realm. I'm just out. I'm gone.
Just
goodbye.
Goodbye. Sorry, somebody else is in charge. Is that milk? That's milk with 2 L's.
Doesn't matter. It just says milk.
We'll get you hooked up with some Hooked on Phonics later, friend. Are there any actual plans to implement a sort of sleeping feature where your vision is greatly, if not completely, decreased, and you have to rely on deafened and distorted sounds?
There is a full-on fucking system Jarrell wants that I said no to, that I have now warmed up to. I'm not commenting on it because it's so fucking big. It's so huge for sleeping. God.
I feel like
sleeping is important because we are putting it on logout. That's important. Number one.
Right.
If you try and log out, your creature's going to go to sleep. People are going to see that you're trying to log out. This combat logging shit that you've seen where people have managed to exploit their way out of the game, never going to happen. Never going to happen again. You leave your creature in the world and it's going to fucking destroy your database.
Plus, we've previously discussed Shmee for Elders, right? Which is just our tagline.
That's the perma Shmee.
That's the perma Shmee. But
Jarrell wants something that she proposed, and all the fucking council said they could do it. She wants to have it where at night you can go to sleep and enter a dream state, which is your own little tiny world where you could kind of do whatever you wanted and basically practice as your dinosaur. You're basically in Dino Dreamland.
So how would that work if somebody came upon you sleeping?
You don't want to wake up.
You wake up immediately.
Yeah. You would wake up immediately, but
so she
wants fucking Inception basically of your own little world that you can run around in. You wouldn't see anything that's there in the real world, but you're dreaming now.
What is to stop? I feel like actually I don't know that I want to explore this one without Hiss in here able to defend her concept in something other than text?
I can tell you.
Well, why don't we table that?
Just ask it.
Okay, so I mean, how does that stop people from just hiding somewhere and then forever living in Dreamland? Like, I guess the need to come out and eat and drink.
Yeah, you
and
need
that's
to eat
the only
and drink,
thing.
but Dreamland is also its own thing. It's not like you can just explore the island as a dream dinosaur. That's not.
Okay, so the idea is for it to be like a separate
It
instance of
yeah,
something
it
else.
puts you in your own little corner in your own little chair.
Okay. All right. Next one. Mange asks, can the dino drown dinosaurs by dragging them into the water?
Can Dinosuchus drown dinosaurs? Yes, you can. Yes, you 100% can. That's
Everyone's got to breathe.
yeah. Most of the kills of the of crocs are usually by shock and drowning. So there you go.
Death spin and drag.
Yeah,
them.
I mean, if you death spin them, it's gonna fucking wear their oxygen out real quick because they're gonna be panicking. So that's it. Yes, you can drown things.
Jay Davis asks, if most carnivores are able to catch fish in some capacity, how will primary fishing animals such as Suchomimus or Spinosaurus be able to fish more efficiently than the likes of, this is a really long question, sorry, of Utah Raptor or Tyrannosaurus?
I mean, you ever see a lion try and fish? You fucking exactly. That's why a Tyrannosaurus doesn't fish.
Yeah.
Like,
Also, I feel like the volume of fish that a Tyrannosaurus would need to get any usable
yeah,
nutrition
well,
would be...
it's like there's animals that literally, specifically hunt and catch specific. There are mechanics that are given to them that make this easier.
Versus,
T-Rex
standing in the water going, please, hop in.
Have you ever played Red Dead Online? Like, yeah, I can fish and I can catch a pike 3 stars with my fishing rod and lure. Meanwhile, Spartan can go, God damn it, and start throwing dynamite into the fucking water.
And then grab a bunch of fish.
Yeah. They're not worth shit, and he's probably not going to get that pike.
Oh, but I got a lot of fish.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, yeah. So basically, mechanical incentive to do it versus, I guess the T-Rex could stick its head in the water, right?
It's not catching shit.
But it's not going to get much of anything.
Yeah, no, unless you're big enough to be like, hey, I'm catching the attention of this Tyrannosaur, like, I'm a fucking half-grown Dinosuchus, snatch me up, please, or whatever water animals we have. It's not a fisher,
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Tanman asks, what are the plans with the DNA bars on the character screen? Ooh.
Oh, God. Well, as you've seen, the Elder System's there now.
Yeah.
There's a few other things. It's mostly for the perks, though, like the long term. Yeah, because we want something that's more than just like the short term. I got a thing for 5 minutes. It's like this is Jarrell wanted it where you could say on paper you are the best dinosaur in the world or in the region of this category. Like, I'm the best T-Rex ever.
I have X amount of
you're making the Ubermensch of dinosaurs. The more you play as one, you're eventually, if you wanted to unlock every perk, yeah, sure, go for it, and then you are literally the best version that you could be of that thing.
This one got cut off.
I know
too, because I stepped in on this one.
I'm never going to tell people. It's just gonna happen.
Okay, so I'll read the question out, and then
you're not even reading the question. I will.
Because people are asking about that a lot. So I don't know how you want to handle it.
I talked a lot of shit, and I said I was gonna build something with it.
Yeah.
And that was that. And I don't. And you know how I am.
Sure.
If I say I'm going to do something and it takes me 2 years to wrap back around to it and snipe a motherfucker from 2 miles away, I snipe him from 2 miles away.
I mean, everybody can see what his question was because it's still in the question. So, okay. And Punch did the right thing by pulling that one out.
They'll find out. Is there any solution to stream sniping? Don't stream.
Also...
No, just don't stream. That's the universal solution to it, because there is no... what do you want?
I mean, at the end of the day, like the responsibility to put in a delay is on you, not on game mechanics, right? Like, I know that there has been some discussion internally about a quote streamer mode that like changes people's names and stuff. Whether that is gonna get implemented is a completely different story. But honestly, Don and I both stream competitive games.
I can tell you now that what I've wanted to do for a while is remove the ability to invite people from afar. you actually need to do it with a radial menu up
Close to someone.
And very specifically, there is no scoreboard unless you're an admin. You can't see who's on the server.
So here's my question: how does that play into the proposed group spawn system? If I can't like join a server or group my buddies, and then we all start spawning as freshies or in a nest or something.
Steam invitations.
Okay, so you just want to do.
Yeah.
So Steam invitations into the server would automatically put you into the group. Is that the plan?
That's the initial idea. Yes.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's like hop in Discord with your friends and
then do your
deal with it.
Okay,
yeah.
until you get
Because dinosaurs will have a type of map where as they wherever they start at, it's just fog of war, and then once they've moved through, it shows the island.
Okay, cool. So I mean, I think that handles that then.
Yeah. But
so,
it's possible. I mean, that's about as close as we'll get, if we even do it.
So we've burned through. You guys initially submitted like well over 1,200 questions.
We burned through the official list.
We burned through the official list. Punch, our mod team, myself, I think, Kissin and a few other people, redlined, all kinds of stuff to go through, and we appreciate the both. Obviously, you guys have a ton of questions, and a lot of you try to get these answered during Don's non-owl related streams, and we all know how that goes. But I think that this went pretty darn well, and maybe post Recode, maybe a month or two after Recode drop, we can look at re-examining another Q&A and block out some hours in the team's time to do maybe a larger team Q&A. I don't know how Don and Jarrell will want to handle that, but I will put that on our list to re-examine. So yeah, there's a ton of stuff coming in the Recode, and I know that you guys have been asking about herbivore specific variations of the shirt. What do you mean you still can't?
No, I don't know if I ever showed this image.
I think that one has been.
No, I don't think I have. I don't think that's ever been publicly shown. I don't think that this one has either.
I've seen these.
I know you have, but I don't think anyone else has. And I feel like that is the only thing that needs to be said for is there any
about
plans?
Jafad's last question.
About Jafad's last question.
So I need the Dondi thigh highs, man. And I know that there's a lot of merch questions. We have some really cool stuff. I mean, you know what? You want to show that thing?
I will here in a second. I'm gonna do something to it. Hold on.
What are you gonna do to it? Damn, that is really cool.
I know.
So this will answer the question that Jafad asked, I think. Hopefully it will give you guys just that little bit of taste of tease that you need to get things moving along. Does QA have a build yet? No. Look at this.
All right, Jafad wanted to know if there were plans for it.
Yeah, Jafad wants to see things. So
there's plans for it.
There's definitely
there's going to be things for the lore channel.
There are things in the works. Good things, bad things. No, I don't know if they're bad. The lore guys are gonna rip this apart. Honestly, like my favorite thing now is watching like how they just latch on to every little minute little detail. What the hell is that? It's a good question, man.
Maybe. I don't know. It doesn't matter. They told me I get to go play in the world again. They said it's yours to toy with.
Yeah.
Don't defame, and I said yes, sir.
Yeah.
I got you. I was like, are there any limitations? There's none of the people, none of the characters, but everything else is
no characters.
Everything else is yours to play with, and I said, thank you for my playground back. Thank you for my playground back.
Thanks for letting me play.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're good. It's about that time done.
All right. We actually are going to now go. We're going to end stream. We're going to probably play Scum.
Or watch Predators.